and welcome back everyone here to the lower bracket round 3. A best of 3 between Faded and the Bird's Nest here in the playoffs for Season 3 CEVO-Main. And a pretty good performance in Game 1 by Faded. Not too much the Bird's Nest could really do about it. Really good rotations by the supports from Faded, and an outstanding performance by Theory's Lifestealer and Rolo's Invoker. But going into Game 2, a completely different story. The Bird's Nest showing total domination. At one point, the score was 18-1, maybe 17-1. Either way, you get the point. Complete domination. Faded, I think, wasted a lot of resources and some greedy counter picks to a Slark, trying to get both the Doom as well as the Bloodseeker to go against the Slark. It made their lanes a little weak, a little greedy. The Crystal Maiden and the Lifestealer, again played by Theory, but this time no impact on the game. Couldn't get anything done against the aggression coming out from the Bird's Nest. Dindum on a Wind Ranger, not able to find a home. Dying in the offlane to Slark, rotated him to the safe, then dying to the main Marana combination. Just couldn't find a lane, and that was pretty much the story of the whole game. Doom couldn't find a home, Crystal Maiden couldn't jungle, Dindum couldn't lane on the Wind Ranger, and then it was pretty much just Rolo farming really well in the mid lane, but what are you going to do in a Bloodseeker if you're the only person that can really bring anything to the table? Bit of an out draft is really all it was. But Bird's Nest, of course, they played phenomenally there. And here we are into Game 3. The team that loses this is out of the playoffs, out of the money. Now, the team that moves forward, let's pull up the brackets here, actually. Oh, look at that. They're already up. Look at this preparation. So in the lower bracket, round 3, we've got Avanti's Angels going up against Team Under.
5 seconds remaining.
So that should be a pretty good match. That's actually going to be tomorrow on the 21st at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central Time. So Avanti's Angles going up against Unnerve. So that should be a pretty fantastic match. I thought Unnerve, they were the #1 seed going into the playoffs. I thought they would. I predicted them to win it. They were playing very, very strong. They're pretty famous sort of IXDL/NEL stack, so they do play well despite not really being a team. A lot of skill between them. That's the other lower bracket round 3. Round 4 will be the winner of that game going up against either, of course, Faded or the Bird's Nest. In the lower bracket finals, already awaiting all 4 of these teams potentially is Top 5, a team that has won the Sunday Evening Cup Series quite a few times. They've done very well in CEVO Season 3. They were actually the 3rd seed coming into the finals. And Union Gaming awaiting everybody already advanced to the finals. They've already got a victory over Top 5. So the professional DOTA2 Peruvians already in the finals. As we will hop back into the game, into this draft here. We can check it out. Farming all day, every day. They ban out the Slark. Definitely not letting that one through. Taking out the Bristleback as well. As the Marana, they pick themselves up again. Rolo's Invoker going to pick up the Bane for themselves this game. Because we've actually got a substitution. Dindum is out. D-Chow is in. And these are, of course, all on their roster. So not really even considered stand-ins here in CEVO. As long as they're on your roster, you can use them at will, which is pretty nice. So, you know, if you are signing up for CEVO, it's not a bad idea to have a couple extra people on your roster just in case something happens.
5 seconds remaining.
So Invoker Bane picked up. There's that Sunstrike combination, the Nightmare, Sunstrike. Pretty straightforward, but a lot of bans coming out. The Bird's Nest, they take out the Timbersaw. They take out the very aggressive Visage. Maybe respect banning Theory's Lifestealer just a little bit, even though it didn't get much done in Game 2. And of course, the Nature's Prophet also taking the fall. Bird's Nest, they elect to pick themselves up. An Alchemist first, as well as a Rubik. I say this every time Alchemist is picked. Very good support. He probably will support, but he's also great in the mid lane and still almost as good as he was as a carry. And if you get it to level 16, he's almost better as a carry. The Chemical Rage regen, and if with your tanky and durable with some items at level 16, it's kind of ridiculous. But nice, I like this. Bounty Hunter picked up an offlane hero with a very, very high win percentage going into 6.79. Maybe not quite as popular as that Clockwork pickup, but definitely still very powerful. That Track Gold can get your team out ahead in a big way. One downside of the Bounty Hunter, he's easily pushed into, and those pushing lineups are pretty prominent now in the 6.79 metagame. The Pugna, the Death Prophet, I mean, even Shen and Enchantress coming back to push some lanes. Luna is very popular right now. DK Venomancer as well. Bounty Hunter can do nothing to stop this. So that's okay. I mean, if you force a team fight with your Bounty Hunter against that push and happen to win, or even trade, you're going to be inching ahead in the game. Track, very good spell, especially if your whole team is around to reap the rewards. As Nyx Assassin is going to be picked up here The Mana Burns, watch for him later on in this game. 4-second cooldown. Going to be able to do upwards of 500 to 600 damage to that Invoker every 4 seconds. Not to mention the potential for the multiple person impales, or as I guess we're calling them these days, the Phonic Ravage on the Nyx Assassin. On point in that Starladder Land Finals for Season 7.
5
Hopefully
seconds
you guys
remaining.
got to watch those. If you haven't, do check out the VODs. But going into the 4th pick now,
Reserve time.
farming all day, every day with their offlaner support and their mid, so they're going to need that one role carry as well as another support, and we'll see what it's going to be. Visage, already banned out, very, very popular. We still have... Who do we want? It's always so hard to think of the heroes when you're not looking at the entire list. Crystal Maiden has not been picked or banned, could be quite good. We've also got...
Crystal Maiden.
Alright, I can stop thinking, because there it is. Who was I thinking of? It's so hard. Venomancer. God, that hero is so annoying. It's blocked out of my memory. It's repressed. But Crystal Maiden gets picked up there as the 4th pick. Going to be pretty strong in conjunction with the Bane. Yeah, should be strong. Chemical Rage can pop and get you out of that, I believe. It dodges projectiles. I don't know if it'll get you out. No, it won't get you out of Frostbite, but it's going to put that regen up. So Alchemist Hood could be hard to kill later on with just a Frostbite.
10 seconds
Can't attack,
remaining.
but you can cast, which means Nyx Assassin, of course, can get off a pretty decent
5
impale. You can
seconds
put the
remaining.
Spike Carapace as well, or even Vendetta if he's level 6. Might be a track on him, though, with the
Reserve
Bounty
time.
Hunter. We'll see Bird's Nest now going for their 4th pick. It's going to be the Pugna, so we already talked a little bit
Dire
about
team ban.
the weaknesses of a Bounty Hunter. He is pretty easy to push into. He really provides nothing to the team in that scenario. But he does have the track. Pugna going to be pretty squishy. A Janata into a Shuriken Toss. Especially, you Janata Pugna, he's like, oh shit, a Bounty Hunter.
10
He
seconds
puts himself
remaining.
in Decrepify, and then you throw the Shuriken Toss, which, I don't know, catches you off
5
guard.
seconds
It's
remaining.
325 magical damage. Going to be amping that up by potentially... I don't know if this tooltip is correct.
Reserve
I'm
time.
pretty sure it's only 25% on self-cast now. 50% on allies. I don't know. Game is hard. Dota 2 tooltips are hard because most of them are incorrect or don't tell you everything, and that's why we love Dota 2. But Pugna, going to bring the push here to the Bird's Nest. We'll see if they'll be able to utilize that Nether Blast. Shouldn't be too hard. Death Prophet going to get banned out
Radiant
as
team
well.
ban.
Just worried about that potential Death Ball, which is really, really hard to stop right now. There are some Protoss Death Ball lineups coming out here in Dota 2 and 6.79 if you haven't been paying attention. So a good ban, and it makes sense. I mean, Nyx Assassin was picked up
10
third. It will do
seconds
well
remaining.
against the Invoker, but it also secures that Pugna and
Dire
or a Death
team
Prophet wouldn't be
pick.
burst down again by a Nyx Assassin, picked up potentially by Fated, and it's going to be Weaver that takes the ban out here from Team Bird Nest. Gyrocopter picked up. That is a hero that can deal with some
Radiant
push. The
team
call down
pick.
and the flak cannon, clearing those creep waves. If he gets those big right-click items, he'll be clearing heroes too. So a solid pick. Hard to aggressive lane into as well. So Rubik and Shadow Fiend. Alright, so it looks like it will be an off-lane Nyx Assassin. Shadow Fiend into the mid lane. Safe lane Pugna, Rubik, Alchemist, defensive. Looking to get the safe lane towers quickly while Rubik and Alchemist also roam around. Try to gank up that mid lane Invoker. Stop Rollo from having such a good game here. Oh, and a pause. Wow. We almost went 3 full games without even having a pause. But here we are, the 3rd game, the most official game of them all, because of course this game was paused. Can't beat that. Which reminds me, again, if you guys would like, go to CEVO.com, check out the information for Season 4 if any of you are just joining us here, either in-game or over on the stream at twitch.tv/playcevo1. You can also find it over at CEVO.com/watch. So multiple reasons to head to the website. Watching the streams here, either Dota 2 or CSGO, both should be going on right now. And also all the information you need signing up for Season 4. $5,000 prize pool. No big deal. No big deal, guys. Just a $5,000 prize pool for an amateur Dota tournament in North America. It's not a big deal. Don't get alarmed. Apparently our Reddit posts will just never do well, though. Oh, we're doing a little better now. I like it. I like it. I don't know if we're on the front page yet. We've also got that Reddit flare up on the /r/Dota2 now. It's looking pretty sexy. I like it. Start posting more now, I think. I'm gonna just set this link in chat for you guys to have a go at one more time. Why not? I'll spam links. But the game is paused right here. We've analyzed this draft, I feel like a pretty good amount. Something to note, some nice synergy here between the Alchemist as well as the Shadow Fiend. The Acid Spray, which of course, I mean, support Alchemist, he's going to have it. That's 6 armor reduction at rank 4. And then we've got the Big Bad Bird getting up to near level 12, 13, what have you. You're going to be able to max out that presence of the Dark Lord for another 6 armor reduction. So any team fight, basically, there's going to be 12 armor reductions straight on the board, which I hope that this D-Chow here, very, very capable Dota 2 player, also at one point semi-pro/pro table tennis player and aspiring artist. He does good work. D-Chow on the Bounty Hunter. I hope, we'll make the point now, I hope he's going to go for an early Vlad's up here on this team. I mean, a BKB will be pretty nice, but the Vlad's to help against that armor reduction, which is going to come around the, I guess, 15 to 20 minute mark when Shadow Fiend starts getting up into those levels where he will start putting points in presence of the Dark Lord. Could get dangerous, not to mention there's that AoE Nether Blast. The 5v5, it bodes well for the Bird's Nest, unless Bounty Hunter and Baner, and even Invoker are able to pick off some of the key targets, like the Shadow Fiend, like the Pugna. They're very strong, but they're very squishy early on. Also quite good at flash farming. We'll see what they can get done there. And I like this Nyx Assassin off lane. What do you call a snarky prisoner climbing down a ladder? I like it.
The battle begins.
Oh man, it was funny, but also lame at the same time. But you know, CEVO, we like jokes, and our personal player profiles. One of the few things you can fill in is your favorite joke. So there you go, another reason to go ahead and join up CEVO Season 4. But into this game, we didn't even introduce the teams yet. It looks like I did get the lanes correct here for the Bird's Nest, and it was pretty obvious for Faded. But we do have N with an early Invis rune here in the mid lane, looking to get that lift up here on Sorolo. Big Bad Bird with, you know, some Necro Mastery. Not going to be able to do too much. Maybe trying to force out an early tango. But introducing the teams quickly before anything happens. We've got Rolo in the mid lane on the Invoker. We've got the Gyrocopter up top here, played by Fury, mixing it up a little bit, getting off that Lifestealer. Was actually banned this game. King Kraken on the Bane, looking to pull up. Hasn't played Dota in a while. Also, pulling this camp is like god-awful. But King Kraken on the Bane. The bottom lane, it's going to be D-Chow on this Bounty Hunter. Not going to have a fun time. But if he does just let the push come, doesn't get picked off, should be able to pick up some early levels, and that's all he's going to need. I think they can sacrifice even both of those bottom towers, to be honest. Ideally just the tier 1, but potentially both. As long as Bounty Hunter can get 6 and they can start defending from there on out. And then to round it all off, it's going to be Brave Bird here on the Crystal Maiden up top in that defensive tri-lane. In the bottom lane, for the Bird's Nest, we do have the Pugna going to be played by W4. Supporting behind that, it's going to be 604 Hun on the Alchemist doing that pull through. Also faced with the same camp there. Rubik as well, saw him with the Invis rune early on this game, now trying to get up some pulls in the jungle, get his levels. And Rubik can actually stand here, lift this creep over, and then it'll run back this way. And you can actually pull the creep lane from there if you want to, but probably not what he's doing. Just stacking up for Shadow Fiend, because of course Shadow Fiend's such a good flash farmer. Can just wander back in there, throw some raises, clear some stacks. And he's doing well in the mid lane for now. Invoker might be able to get some kills on him coming around level 3 here. Level 3 onward. We'll see though. As those raises get skilled up, Necromastery stacks up. The Shadow Fiend can also output a lot of damage, and if you're on point with the raises, can definitely turn around almost any 1v1 engagement. And then who do we not introduce? It's just the Nyx Assassin here, Wolful Devil here in the off lane with that Stout Shield and a lot of regen. I'll give this invention to IX Mike. I don't know if that's true in any sense, but he's the first person I saw doing it game after game after game, and he's still doing it. He very much likes that hero. And also made an appearance in the off lane by Funnick in the Star Ladder Land Finals, Star Ladder Season 7 that I already brought up initially. So it is definitely quite viable. But here comes the smoke rotation from the Bane, from the Crystal Maiden, looking to shut down the easily gankable Shadow Fiend. But even if you do gank that Shadow Fiend successfully a couple times in the early game, he's still very hard to shut down because of what Rubik is doing. Look at this stack already being formed up. But here comes the gank. Potential for the first blood here, but no. Big Bad Bird defensively positioned on the bottom side of his tower. Gonna avoid that gank. Nicely done. If they come through this way, the tower's gonna break the smoke regardless of whether or not the hero's close enough. So he sees them, it's daytime. Easy game, says the Shadow Fiend. Maybe waiting 30 seconds could have been advantageous there for those supports at nighttime. The tower vision only extends to about here. So, well, I guess it still breaks the smoke at the same rate, but then the vision isn't as good anyways. I don't know. Nighttime is generally better. Later on in the game, smoking at night isn't so great because of the visibility anyways. If you find someone, they break the smoke in the jungle, across a tree or something like that, you can't really find them. It could be difficult unless you got that Beepo or the more common Luna for that night vision, or even the Night Stalker for that matter. Mid lane, checking it out. Rolo, 13 and 6. The Shadow Fiend, 16 and 7. So going pretty well for both of them. Rolo obviously looking for that early Midas once again. The bottom lane, Pugna, W4 leading the charts here, 22 and 7 on the last hit. Denies doing quite nicely for himself, but D-Chow's up to level 4. The bottom tower is still standing and still quite healthy. They're not worried about that. And then we've got Theory, 19 and 5 up here in the top lane, 14 and 6 on Rolo in the mid. And then we've got some supports. More importantly for them, we've got the levels. Rubik, he's sacrificing hard right now. He hits level 2 in the mid lane. That's nicely done. Nyx Assassin looking to have the gank here in the mid lane, as well as the Alchemist. Doesn't get off his stun! Oh, the Cold Snap Sunstrike goes out. Sunstrike off the mark, but it doesn't matter anyways. Rolo will draw the first blood, and that's a bit of a misplay. That's not a bit of a misplay. That was definitely a misplay by the Alchemist, trying to get that first blood for his team. Didn't want to give up the chase, but should have. Unfortunate. And Rolo even almost let him get away, missing that Sunstrike. Mistiming the tower hit onto the Cold Snap. Didn't matter though. There's enough damage there. Cold Snap, pretty good spell. And now he's going to get some more CS here. But the levels is what we're checking out. We saw Rubik was at level 1, just dinged over to 2, and that's because of this big stack down here. Watch this Shadow Fiend is going to hit level 6 off of this if he doesn't die. Actually, Rubik's soaking up some of the XP, so he may not. But nicely done. That's going to help out the Shadow Fiend immensely. Now Rubik is up to level 3 all of a sudden. It's not so bad at 5.5 minutes. What could be bad is the fact that D-Chow is 5.5 already. Alchemist rotating back down. Has a Sentry. W4 spamming away. Already has the Mana Boots. Didn't opt to go for a bottle at all. Not planning on rotating. As we've got Rolo going for a solo kill on the Big Bad Bird. The bottle link coming up. Long range. Fadewell. One more attack. Not going to quite do it. 14 HP. Can Rolo get up the hill? Here comes the Crystal Maiden. They've got to be careful. There's no mana. Rolo doesn't want anything to do with this, but he does have a Sunstrike. Let's see if he can land it. No. Oh! And almost turned right back into it. A little off the mark. Could have been a nice kill. Another turnaround that Rolo could have been involved in, but the Sunstrike once again slightly off the mark. Unfortunate for him. Would have been really, really nice. Picks up the Midas anyways at 6.5 minutes. Not too bad. Theory up top meanwhile also. Oh, thank God. I saw a recipe. Thought it was going to be a Midas. Almost got upset. Theory, though, going for the magic wand here on a hero that does like to fight a little bit squishy until you pick up some items like the drums, like the BKB. And now the bottom tower under attack here. Bottle coming out to D-Chow on the Bounty Hunter. The tier 1 falls here at 6 minutes 40 seconds. Not unexpected. Thought it might even go down earlier than that. But definitely going to be down by 7 after 2 siege waves as well as a Pugna. And I think that's okay. D-Chow, if he can roam around, start getting some kills, getting tracks on the board before Pugna comes back and has his sights on this tier 2 tower. Because that tier 2 tower, that's going to be 2 towers down pretty early. It's going to give a lot of gold to these supports, as well as the Shadow Fiend. It'll accelerate at the rate at which he's going to get his VKB, and the AoE Nether Blast, the Lick of Death, will go down. That one sentry put to use. They took him out 1-1 on the score. D-Chow goes down, but he hit level 6. So he's off the map for this respawn. It seems bad, but it's not even all that bad. Then we've got, you know, that off lane, that Nyx Assassin trying to get it done. The creep looking to get that kills, or the neutral, excuse me, looking to get the kill on Bane, as well as the Nyx Assassin. But the Brain Sap, that turnaround, the 160 HP back. Crystal Maiden was there. Gyrocopter drops the bombs, picks up the kill with the call down. Again, a nice turnaround. The ganks, that wasn't even a gank. That was just an offlaner being a little over-aggressive. But, hey, he's also level 6 right now, so he can go off the map, try to get a gank. D-Chow going to go back down for some farm, for some more experience. Maybe go for this DD rune. There it is, pinging it out. They know it's there. That was from the Rubik. Who's going to get it first? Pugna moving at 375. A little faster, tries to deny, but D-Chow has the bottle too, so we can save it. We need some, I was going to say, need some reveal on these supports. Rubik with none. We've got the Alchemist delivering a sentry and another smoke here out on that courier. They're going to need that. D-Chow's got a small window here to go after Big Bird. Very, very small. Go Rolo! Big Bird should be down, but D-Chow might give up his life for this. No, he's pretty tanky with the Overclub with the treads. D-Chow needs to get out of there. The courier has not yet delivered. 1 sleep, 2 sleep. Sunstrike coming out. Big Bad Bird going down, and I think they're going to need to retreat because here comes the Pugna, and you do not want to fight versus the Nether Blast. It lends itself well to the 5v5 engagement. Sentry on the cliff for Faded. There's that Spike Carapace we talked about coming from the freezing field. They're going to take out the Invoker. King Kraken going to drop as well. Maybe not. Turns around for the Brain Sap. Doesn't get enough out of it. D-Chow picking up the track, but it's just himself. And now Wolfle Devil coming back in with the Impale. Rubik with the lift. Not going to throw him. D-Chow goes down. Gets the track, but it's not really quite worth it. The mid lane goes 3-4-1. Actually, 2 for 3 because Big Bad Bird did go down. He TP's back to start stacking and clearing out some more jungle creeps. But Theory at the same time gets that top tier 1 tower. So not the best trade for Faded. I think Bird's Nest gets the better end of it slightly, but it's not terrible for Faded. Maybe it is. The graphs. No, that's the other way. The graphs are still backwards, by the way. They really need to change that. I guess they can't. It's been that way for so long. The Bird's Nest, we're out to about a 1,500 gold advantage now. It's about even as the Midas start to kick in. They take a tower out. Some track kills as well going their way. 750 experience, though, to the Bird's Nest. So not a lot in either category right now. Very, very even game. Unlike the last two, the early game performance from Faded in Game 1, you could kind of tell the direction the game was going to take, and then in Game 2, there was no chance. We knew Bird's Nest was winning that at about 4 minutes in. This one, anyone's game. And if we take it to the late game, it's not even set in stone there. Shadow Fiend can snowball like crazy. Pugna can fight and remain relevant for a long time. Always has tower pushing ability. Granted, Gyrocopter does do well in the late game. Let's see if they can get a kill here on W4 with the track as well. 3 heroes involved in this. Sunstrike call down, gonna seal the deal. Pugna drops, TP is cancelled. Nicely done. 3 heroes involved in that track, and that's what Faded needs to keep doing while their Invoker farms up, maybe even split pushes. Joins the fights when he can. Rubik and the next Assassin up to level 8, yet to really use his Vendetta to much effect. Tried to gank the Bane solo up top. 1v3, went down in that. In the middle, had some nice impales. They won that trade in the mid lane, partly because of the next Assassin. But other than that, hasn't been doing too much. It is only 11 minutes, but that is when you would like to start ganking people. However, they're doing 4-man, 4 protect 1 Dota pretty much around this out. And I keep calling Invoker Alchemist. I don't know what is wrong with me right now. Around the Invoker, just farming up in the mid lane with the Forged Spirits. The tier 1 is still there, and actually D-Chow's rotated over. Now the Shadow Fiend in a bit of trouble. D-Chow needs to get out of there. A little bit of overcommitment, but, you know, no lifts coming out there, and Wolfle hesitates on the Impale. Maybe had an opportunity to hit it, but it's pretty hard these days, especially with the Bounty Hunter moving at the speed of track. See some more people on the stream now, approaching 50, not too bad. For anyone just joining us, it's the lower brackets round 3 here in the CEVO Season 3 playoffs. This is CEVO-Main. You're watching Faded versus the Bird's Nest, duking it out, taking it all the way to the 3rd game in this best of 3. Pretty nice ones so far. The VODs will be up tomorrow. Check them out on either CEVO.com, CEVO.com/watch, or the YouTube, YouTube.com/playcevo. And if you're here tonight and you like it, make sure to follow the channel, Twitch.tv/playcevo1. Primarily what we use for Dota here. Lots of action around the mid lane here for the Bird's Nest. Uh-oh, Brave Bird. Brave Bird, I know you've got Brave in your name, but gotta be a little careful here. The Bird's Nest know how to deal with birds. I really like Bird's Nest logo, by the way. It's pretty sick. Thought they had banners. Yeah, they do. It's nice. Kind of reminds me of Bioshock Infinite a little bit, but not that much.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Nice impale from behind the tower. Wolfeldelver maybe a little overextended. The Nether Ward is down. They're going to need to take that out first if they want to continue this fight, and they do exactly that. Bird's Nest know they shouldn't really be fighting without it, although they potentially could call down on cooldown, use maybe in another lane or just in the mid lane to push back some creep. Not sure. Don't want to fight without that either, so both teams do just elect not to fight. 5-4 though, the score. Faded leads by 1. A slight advantage in gold, slight advantage in XP. 500 going both ways. Should probably clarify. Faded by 500 gold. Bird's Nest by 500 XP. The mid lane, there's a lot of action over here. Well, not so much action, but a bit of a standoff. This is a support alchemist now farming the top lane, getting 26 and 3 on the last hits, looking to get up that medallion, maybe some bigger items. Shadow Fiend slowed down a little bit because of the party in the mid lane, but about right on time for the 15-minute treads BKB with all these stacks going on. He's got 96 CS at 14 minutes right now. Kind of ridiculous. Look at another stack here. I mean, this is basically Rubik sacrificing. D-Chow's going to get some of this. That's going to be pretty nice. He might even be able to get a kill right here. Bane is nearby. And a couple more attacks into the Sunstrike. The Janata. Excuse me, the Shuriken Toss. But the Janata was there too. Now up to rank 2. Nice track kill. Able to take out a lot of the gold that he did just farm. Wasn't able to buy up any recipe before he died. Maybe didn't quite have enough. So he farms up that gold, hands over some free XP to the bounty hunter, then gives up the kill, and he's right where he started before doing that stack. Gets some XP out of it, but really wants the gold. Needs a BKB online, going against this Invoker. Could be taken out pretty quickly. The Shadow Fiend. Still fairly squishy, not as much with the Power Treads and the Ogre Club. Still an agility hero as well, so 5 armor. See what Alchemist wants to go next. Picking up a Vlad's also on this team I think is going to be a pretty good idea. Not only will it help the push, it's also going to help to deal with that 5 armor is going to help out with the flak cannon attacking everybody and the team fights, which is basically inevitable. This game though, very different story than game 1 or game 2. Both teams playing pretty reserved right now. The loser of this match, of this game, will be going home in an online tournament sense. They will be knocked out of the tournament, out of the money for the $1,000 here in Maine. I think it's 1,500 actually for season 3. That's not really important though because season 4 is 5,000. Anyway, Fiend's Grip out onto the Alchemist. Alchemist is gonna go down. They might even get the Nyx Assassin with him. Theory's pretty low. One more attack will get stunned up. Attack the creep, Theory! Oh no! Oh no, the misplays. They hurt my soul. They hurt my soul. Theory just needed to attack. One more creep in the extra 1,000 range. Should have been able to do it. It was nighttime. I'm not sure how Flak Cannon interacts, if you have vision or not, but that 1,000 range should have been enough. Now we've got Bravebird in the bottom lane in a bit of trouble, but it's actually W4 and a bit more. He's got the mech. That makes him a little bit tankier. Oh, Crystal Maiden throws out the big mana spell, but the Nether Ward gets there first. Bravebird taking the fall. Sentry down as well. Looking for that bounty hunter. Not going to find him. Bravebird continuing to farm up in the jungle. Excuse me, Big Mad Bird. He's got the BKB up online now in the mid lane, trying to kill this Alchemist, but of course Chemical Rage too OP. Rollo having a bit of a dive. No stun on Shadow Fiend, so we should be okay to escape from that. 7-5 though. Faded starting to pull away on both gold and XP, still by a small amount as we are getting close to 17 minutes. No one yet to tackle Roche. Where Bird's Nest should have that Roche advantage. They've got the armor reduction here from the 2 heroes. That's going to be a 12 armor reduction. Then they've got the Medallion of Courage as well. That's going to be 6. So, I mean, that's 18 total armor reduction, at least on one. 12 overall, which is why I'd like Bounty Hunter to go start picking up a Vlad's here pretty soon. Just get that 5 armor aura out. Maybe pick up a mech along the way on one of the supports. Then you're up to at least 10 armor to try to negate that, so you're only losing -2 in the team fight at large. And then, you know, one day maybe Bounty Hunter's rich with track gold and gets an AC, but AC also going to be on the list of items that Bird's Nest wants to pick up to further promote their armor reduction dominance. Here's the push, that death ball push coming here into the mid lane. Switching over to net worth, we see the Shadow Fiend leading, not too much of a surprise there. Fury, though, pretty close behind on the gyro at 7.4, but here we go, Alchemist initiating behind the tower. Nice Force Staff going on to the Crystal Maiden. That's going to be finished up on Rolo's Invoker. Nether Ward taken out. Not the best Nether Ward placements this game. They've been able to take it out. They might be able to fight now. The Nightmare from King Kraken to start things off. The track call down was whiffed. The Tornado of Souls going to be taken out of the Rubik. Shout out to Megadeth.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Another good engagement. Small little scruff there for Faye to get a track kill out of that. Still inching ahead there in the golden XP, but not by a lot. Anyone's game, but with 2 Midas and with the track, it could get out of hand quickly if Bird Nest, you know, happens to take a bad fight, or even just continue slowly on the track that they are on. Granted, they do have an Alchemist that can turn into a carry later. Shadow Fiend is doing very, very well. We yet to have a Requiem of Souls this entire game. Almost snipes out D-Chow there with the raises. And he's got a BKB, which is, again, has also yet to be used. There's still a fair amount of right-click coming out from Faded, though. Not to mention the armor reduction from the Forged Spirits. It looks like D-Chow is going to be going back for those drums. Theory working towards that Helm of the Dominator. Rushed the BKB. Hasn't had to use that one either. Now going back for the Helm, so if he is in a situation where he just has to man fight, he actually has the potential to do so with that BKB. Also allows him to jungle effectively, as well as even stack the Ancients, or at least share control so they can stack the Ancients with those neutrals. So a pretty nice item. Pretty much a required item on the Gyrocopter if you're going in that carry role. Which, who isn't really? It's been a long time since we've seen Gyrocopter in the mid lane, or even as a support, which we used to see occasionally. I think Gyro can still function decently in the mid lane, even in the current metagame. Just easy to gank, but I mean, a lot of heroes are easy to gank that get put in the mid lane right now. I don't know. I'm no pro player, but I don't think it would honestly be that bad. Sure, his rotations don't get all that much done, but if any one of your lanes has a stun, you've got the call down if the team tries to initiate into it. I still think it's pretty good, but it's not the case here. He's obviously just carrying it up. Alchemist now with the potential to start picking him off a little easier. He's got that Medallion of Courage. The Blink as well for that initiation with the Unstable Concoction. Maybe at nighttime can catch Theory off guard before he BKBs, and even if he does BKB, that damage will go through. We've got Nyx Assassin. Oh, just going to run out. On the prowl here, only level 8, so the rank 1 Vendetta, it does kind of hurt you at this point when you want to be invisible, do some more scouting. That 20-second duration isn't quite long enough. 35 is nice, and then 50 is permanent invisibility, actually. Call down being wasted over the flak cannon, even, to defend this tower. And will they be able to do so? In the mid lane, meanwhile, we've got a bit of a push going out. Shadow Fiend dissuading that with his nice Shadow Raise. His BKB out here onto Waffle. Are they going to be able to bring him down? Bane! Oh! Fiend's Grip, at least it didn't go on to cooldown. That's a big wasted BKB charge. Mid tower is still going to stand as well. I don't know. King Kraken there. Maybe a bit of a misplay there, trying to get the perfect Nightmare. Should have just stopped somebody. Or just Fiend's Grip immediately. Could have went on the Alchemist. Would have been definitely a for sure kill. Maybe not wanting to use the Fiend's Grip just to get one, but I think it would have been worth it because it would have been a track kill for 4 heroes. Actually, maybe even, yeah. 4 heroes? No, I lie. Bounty Hunter was in the mid lane. So, I don't know. Maybe not using it's okay because now they can push and they can fight again in about 30 seconds. They could potentially fight without the BKB. The call down is already back. A very short cooldown spell. Kind of like the Ghost Ship from Kunkka. Can use it pretty much willy-nilly and it'll usually be back up for you. 125 mana, only a 55-second cooldown, then 50, then 45, so usually available for you. The drums are finished up now on the Bounty Hunter. W4 with the mechanism, with the Arcane Boots working towards the Ag Scepter. Shadow Fiend doing what he does best, farming the jungle, but they know where he is. They got that track on him right now. And speaking of tracks, actually, W4 in a bit of trouble. The haste rune on D-Chow going in for it. Is there a Sentry Ward? There is not. It will allow W4 to escape, but it slows down the flash farm of the Pugna at least a little bit. Sends him back to base. But he's almost got an Aghanim Scepter. 0 cooldown, increased range, and I think more damage? I'm not sure. I'm missing kills because I'm trying to read tooltips. Where does he find that guy? in the mid lane there. Wow, that was a fast rotation, but that's what happens when you have the haste. I might not even have missed that on camera, actually. I think we were almost there. Either way, that's going to be the third death. 0, 3, and 0 for the Shadow Fiend. So farming very, very well. Still top of the net worth, but not providing all that much for his team. Still leads at 10.1k though. Gyrocopter Theory next in line here. Now with the Helm of the Dominator with his own Ancient stack here. Looking to farm up. Go towards that first big damage item. We'll see whether it's going to be that Butterfly or maybe he wants to go for just a straight MKB. D-Chow. Oh, the long range Aghanim Scepter. Life Drain. Not going to quite do it. D-Chow lives just barely. Uses the drum charge to escape there. Definitely worth the charge. Force Staff. Finished up on the Crystal Maiden, so we'll take that as a cue to check out most of the other items. Force Staff on Rollo, been there for a while. Midas also working towards an Ags this game. BKB Helmet Dominator on Theory. We'll see what his next big item is going to be. Wouldn't be surprised if it is... What should it be, actually? He does just need some big right-click. MKB might not be a bad idea. I could see Butterfly as well against the Shadow Fiend just to be able to man-fight him. King Kraken with the Arcane Boots, about all he needs. Phase Drums on D-Chow. I would like to see him pick up that... up the Vlads, if I haven't said that enough. The damage ore, always going to be nice. For the Gyrocopter, Crystal Maiden with the Force Staff. On the other side of things, we've got Alchemist picking up that... Let's go to Alchemist, actually. Alchemist picking up the Blink Dagger. He's got a Gem of Truce right now, as well as some Smoke. The next Assassin, that's going to be Wolfle, got the Arcane Boots up and running. Though, back to the Alchemist we go. Looks to be having to go on. It's half health right there. If you get the Acid Spray first, it's about 3/4 HP. One more raise could potentially do the trick. It also could be the overextension of the Shadow Fiend here. Fiend's Grip goes out, gets canceled immediately, unfortunately for Kraken. He's even going to go down here. Nether Blast doing a lot. Now the Fiend's Grip stolen. Back onto Theory. King Kraken giving up his coveted Fiend's Grip that time. It is an easy spell to steal, though. Rubik making the plays in that fight. Absolutely well done by N. Faded loses 3, potentially going to lose some more. Trying to find D-Chow. Can't disjoint that one. The lift as well, throwing him back down. Ultra kill for W4 on the Pugna. Exactly what they did not want to happen. Chicago Ted, a fellow CEVO caster, picking up an item off of that one. And they're going to go for the push here. Instead of just taking that free Roshan. Either or, definitely a good call. Could even potentially do both. Tower is dead. There's no denying towers when you're dead, and there's especially no denying towers when you're dead versus a Pugna. And that's exactly what they're going to do. They go back into the Rosh pit here. Aghanim Scepter. Oh, we didn't quite have it. I was under the impression that Pugna had it the last couple of fights. He did not. He does now, though. It picks it up in another 2,000 gold, so we could potentially be going for that Sheep Stick, for that Necro Book as well. Here's that Dominated Centaur Conqueror trying to get some intel right now. Rollo going to be picked up, and they're going to get him. Concoction, everything. Drops the Sunstrike, does nothing, though. Unfortunate for Rollo to be picked off. Good ward here, though, by the Rain to scout everything out. Wolfle Devil is going to go down. That's a track kill, at least going over to Theory. They have not been able to get the Roshan, and now on the back lines of things, they will take off the Rubik. Another track kill going their way. A buyback here by Rollo, and those two pickoffs should actually secure the Roshan here for Faded. 80 gold, not bad from the Nether Blast. The Nether Blast ward, just the Nether ward. What? Yeah, Nether ward. Doesn't look like the fighting is going to stop around the Rosh pit, though. Let's see how low it is. It's about 1/4 HP right now. Not the fastest Rosh dealing or Rosh killing team. Rollo not wanting to invoke the Forge Spirits either. Needs the Tornado, needs the Chaos Meteor. He's in position to use it if they run into this choke point. Watch that Tornado.
Has fallen to the
Blink in by the Alchemist. He's able to seal it. He will go down. It's a pretty big win. He's obviously going to die. And there goes the Crystal Maiden. Poor little Crystal Maiden. Nice another ward placement here. Going to be really hard to get to. Look how much damage they're taking from this, too. There's King Kraken up on the high ground. We'll go down trying to cast another ward, taking everybody down. Rollo really needs to kill this thing. Look how much damage. He killed himself off of that nether ward. Trying to throw out the Deafening Blast. And W4 with another triple kill there. 8, 1, and 5 right now with an Ags. Another 3,000 gold. He's got the gem. Picked it up from the Alchemist's corpse. Faded loses 4. They killed the Rosh, but they gave up the Aegis. They denied the Aegis, so that's out of the equation for him. 13 to 12. Bird's Nest in a very, very tight game still, despite the recent comeback here in the last 2 engagements. Gold at about equilibrium, XP as well, just about equilibrium. Faded though at one point, about 3.5 XP ahead.
Dire's top tower
1,500 gold ahead, slowly dropping back down. Bird's Nest taking another tower. Win the last fight, should see them shaping up in their favor. Manta Style coming out here for the Shadow Fiend. Another Blink Dagger, this one on the Nyx Assassin. Really nice positioning item to get off those Impales, especially now with the changes to Impale. We've already seen the Ags on the Pugna. We'll see what his next big item is going to be. Working towards the Eagle Song on Theory, so that is going to be the Butterfly as the next choice. Pretty good choice. It's not going to help much against the Pugna, of course, but he's got the BKB for that, at least for now. Still quite a long charge on it. I did not mean to click on the Gyrocopter, but just wanted to bring up his items. But D-Chow is going to go down there. Easy pick-off. But the Butterfly, back to that. It's going to be nice to 1v1. The Shadow Fiend should be able to do so. And he's got 8 seconds on his BKB charge, which is what I wanted to look at. So it's the BKB will save him from the Pugna for a little while to come. But once it's down to a 4-second charge, Pugna's going to be a real threat, even to the Gyrocopter. Somehow the Pugna is still not on top of the net worth, despite getting an ultra, then a double kill, and having some decent farm here. He goes Ags, and then he basically gets a free BKB, as well as those team fights went for him. That was a quick BKB completion, pretty much. Big Bad Bird, we've got the Manta Style, going for some lifesteal and some evasion here, the poor man's version. Theory popping up his BKB as well, dropping the call down now, trying to take out the Pugna, and I really think Theory, now he's going to BKB, he will be able to get out of that. Not even going to try to fight that at all. The Bane, the Crystal Maiden get killed almost immediately. Rolo forcing over. There's a Forge Spirit on Forge Spirit battle right now. Nyx Assassin not close enough with the Impale, but I think this is going to be a kill. The Sunstrike, Rolo going to get it. Nice track kill there coming out for D-Chow. Not sure how track interacts with global kills like that with the Sunstrike, actually. And here we go, the Blink Dagger from Alchemist about to pay off big as they break the high ground, trying to kill Theory. Can they get him? Do they have the damage? The rocket, the homing missile saves the day. It was already prepped up on the Shadow Fiend. Without it, Theory probably would have went down. On the backside of things, D-Chow still trying to pick some people off. He's almost got his BKB. Could maybe be what Faded needs to start getting back into these team fights. They're trailed by 2 kills, but they've lost a lot of momentum, and it really doesn't tell you how bad it is. 5,000 gold now and climbing advantage for Bird's Nest, as well as 5,000 XP at 30 minutes here with a very, very solid late game lineup. That Death Ball push. That being said, Faded, they've got some good counter push of their own. If they can stop getting picked off, win some of these defend some of these pushes, maybe win the team fights that ensue, get the track kills up, and get right back into this game. 4 staff on the Nyx Assassin. Doubling down on the mobility items, the Blink Dagger and the 4 staff. You definitely can just have the Blink Dagger. 4 staff is nice, provides you with a little bit more escape, and with that gem, D-Chow's playing pretty reckless. He's going to get picked off once again. W4 now onto a monster kill. But there are some other items you can get after that Blink Dagger, namely the Necro Book coming out. It is pretty expensive, but it's still going to be a pretty nice pickup. And they may have even stolen track a couple times in these team fights. We can see that N is trying. He's got the Shadow Walk right now, which means he's been targeting that Bounty Hunter. Also, the hero they just killed, so trying to steal a spell, I suppose. I'd like to see urns as well on Nyx Assassins. They're always involved in the kills and the team fights, so good for an urn, then a blink. Even a blink and then an urn. It's very nice for the push. Can heal anyone up who's low. Also use it offensively when you want to fight. Dagon, I guess you can get. Even Dagon 1 is going to be pretty good. Take out the supports immediately. Call down going to be used on pretty much nothing. Maybe a slightly questionable call down there by Theory. Now that's on cooldown for another 30 seconds. Unless they're just next level strategies here, throwing the call down, maybe trying to force an overextension from the Bird's Nest. It doesn't. The way they've been playing Game 3 doesn't look like that is going to happen here. Force staff up on the Rubik as well. Lots of mobility here for the Bird's Nest going into this fight, and it's this Nether Ward that's really been sticking it to him. Even the Forge Spirits take damage from that, but at least they can focus it down. Not very quickly. Another blast goes out, getting some damage on the tower. Lifted over the side there, it looked like was Jichao. Here comes the BKB from Theory trying to man fight against the Shadow Fiend. He's going to be Fiend's gripped up now. This is a fight that is sort of going well for Faded. They've already killed the Nyx Assassin. Looks like they are repelling here and will live. Let's see what Invoker has. He's got the Sunstrike invoked up. We're going to keep our eyes on... Oh no, Sunstrike's going for the Shadow Fiend. Rubik has actually already fallen. 2 trash kills now going out the way of Faded. It looks like that's going to force the retreat of the Bird's Nest, and that's exactly what Faded needs to keep doing. To step right back into this game, we already see that Gyro has picked up his Butterfly. And if they want, Theory can just start farming towards that Rapier. They're on the Dire side. They could get that Aegis in 1 to 4 minutes. Maybe even later than that. Just basically try to protect the Roche until Theory picks up a Rapier. Kill Roche. Get the Rapier. Get the Aegis. Win the game. Or throw the game at that point. I mean, once you have a Rapier, the throw potential is very high. Oh, getting stuffed up here in Game 3. But definitely the best game of the series. I mean, the first 2 were very explosive, good performances. Game 1 by Faded, very good performances by Bird's Nest in Game 2. Game 3, very, very even. Gonna go down to the wire. We see Shadow Fiend now also picking up that evasion item, looking to man fight. Could definitely use that Helmet Dominator being finished up. Both teams could use a Vladimir's Offering. I'm kind of upset that neither team has one right now. But, you know, whatever. 16% damage aura, not a big deal. It's cool. 5 armor aura against an armor reducing team. Yeah, it's not a big deal. We don't need it. Good item. Maybe I'm just giving it too much credit, but I feel like every time I buy it early, we win. Maybe that's just because I play Support Alchemist, and that hero is ridiculous. Especially in just solo ranked. Rubik picking up that Invis, also still holding onto the gem at the Alchemist bot. They're actually going to pass it back over. Alchemist has that haste. It's got a Perseverance now as well. I wonder what that's for. I guess going for a Lincoln's here. Not a bad idea. Theory going to get stunned up. 2-person impale, it looks like, from the Nyx Assassin. This could be a fight they... Oh. That was unfortunate. I don't know why he quit canceling that. I didn't think that... Okay. Not sure what happened there, actually. Maybe he just canceled it, worried they were going to counter-initiate. He saw everybody got scared. Maybe he was doing damage to Wolfle Devil somehow, and he cast... I don't know what happened, but what I want to say I think happened. Someone was Nightmared. Wolfle Devil put Spike Carapace, took the Nightmare, and just stunned Bane off of Spike Carapace. That would be next level. Could have been what happened, I don't know. But here we go, another team fight near the Roche, but very important here. None going in, blinking forward, going to get caught in the Tornado. Not a good team fight for the Bird's Nest. They get caught in the Meteor, they get caught in the Tornado, but no! Big Bad Bird with the BKB pulls out the triple kill, the big Requiem of Souls. He's going back for more. D-Chan was down. W4 is godlike after that one. Forces out the buyback from Rolo. Buyback as well here coming out from Brave Bird on the Crystal Maiden, and they want to go into the Roche pit after this. Rolo's going to try to dissuade them by just showing up. Going to throw that Tornado forward and possibly die here. There's Theory coming through, but Rolo taking a ton of damage. Theory as well going to go down. And I think this could maybe be the beginning of the end for Faded. A bit of a, well, a very, very nice fight they took there at the Dire Ancients. Looked like it was going to go well, but then Big Bird just exploded, not being able to be focused because of his BKB. Still at 8-second charge at that point, and the Butterfly pickup got off a great Requiem of Souls. Looked bad initially for the Bird's Nest because of that Tornado Meteor combo, and Rolo will be taken down there in the mid lane from Rubik and the Nyx Assassin, apparently. There was a bit of burst damage. Those green guys kind of blend in with one another. Didn't seem like Rubik could have done that all by himself. And here's that death push into the mid lane. Flip of Fortification going to be thrown out onto the middle tier 3. Looking for the stun is Wolfle, going to go ahead and force himself forward and get blown up. Flak Cannon will get him, so Theory on the Gyrocopter picking up that one. Fiend's Grip going out onto the Rubik. But look at W4 and Big Bad Bird just going ham on these mid-racks right now. BKB and Age is still online for the Big Bad Bird. Requiem of Souls also off of cooldown, so Shadow Fiend can fight to the death, come back alive, BKB up, and then throw his ultimate. So he's a force to reckon with right now, and he played this game fantastically. Did well in the mid lane. Rubik and here stacked up for him a ton at multiple camps of the jungle. Big Bad Bird even stacking by himself quite a few times. Had that 15-minute, actually even earlier, slightly earlier treads BKB, the timing you want on Shadow Fiend, and the rest, well, pretty much history. It's a good execution as well, and just really hard to fight into that Nether Ward. Such a good ability. What are you gonna do? I'm glad that Veebkins agrees with me on the Vladimir's offering. Such a great item too, because it's percentage based, so not only is it good early for the high armor aura, 5 is a lot in the early game, and then of course it does get very, very powerful because apparently math happens. 16% of a lot is kind of a lot, so it stacks on a lot of damage, especially with heroes like Shadow Fiend, like the Gyrocopter, especially attacking it with that AoE. Could be pretty nice. And Theory, well, the Minrax is down, and he's not farming all that well. He's died a couple times. He bought back and died again, I believe, with the dieback. Yeah, he did have a dieback. So did Rolo on the Invoker, so nowhere near close to that Rapier, which could be their only saving grace in this game. They're behind 14,000 gold, behind 15,000 XP. And it looks like they could still come back from this, but it's looking harder and harder by the second, and I'll be sad to see Fada drop out of this tournament. Another smoke gank, feeling the fire, that aggression, looking for some more here. Alchemist, we saw him bring up the concoction, the force away, but it doesn't matter. They're going to find Rolo. The Lick of Death, the stun to be followed up by the Rubik, by the Nyx Assassin. Another pick off from the Invoker, who is a pretty hard hero to push into. He's down. He already had that dieback incident, so he's not going to be back for a while. Now they head straight into the mid lane. They might even be looking to throne it here. Not going to disjoint. He still has the gem as well. The Impale. Big Bad Bird was an enemy. It would have been a sick 2-man Impale, but not the case. Willful Devil, though, on point with that. The Blink 4-staff lineup here. That momentum, though. 3 4-staffs, or excuse me, 3 Blink Daggers, 2 4-staffs. The Death Ball push potential here with Pugna leading the team in kills. Yeah, 11-1 and 11. Shadow Fiend 9 and 3, but it looks like the final team fight might be breaking out here. So, yeah, the Life Train, the long range with the Axe, taking out Braper. BKB up here by Theory. Not going to be able to stand and fight, though. The Shadow Fiend does too much. Oh, not a Fiend's Grip, but it's canceled immediately as the story goes this game for the Bane, and it's stolen once again. And there's the GG, well played, coming out from Theory. So congratulations to the Bird's Nest, moving on to the lower bracket round of 4. They're going to face off against either Avanti's Angels or Unnerve. That game happens tomorrow, January 21st at 8 p.m. Central here on twitch.tv/playcevo1. It'll also be live in-game, so make sure to check it out. I'm Helium here, casting for CEVO TV. There, you can follow me on Twitter at HeliumBrella. You can read our news down there as well. We're all writing blogs now, us casters. Gorgon and Ted are doing a lot better than me. I don't like writing. I did engineering for a reason, but I'm trying. Mine should be coming out here in the next day or two. But what's more important is that Orange 5,000. The $5,000 cash prize minimum for Season 4 of CEVO. 4,000 in main, 1,000 in open, and of course that community-fueled crowdsource funding, however that phrase goes. 100% of any donations towards a game will go to that game. 100%. It'll be divided up by percentages based on the various skill divisions that the game offers. More news on that coming soon, but check out either the Reddit post, check out CEVO.com itself. You can find the story for CEVO Season 4 on Gamers. It should be coming on Join Dota later, so it'll be covered. Hopefully you guys will sign up and play. Spread the word as well. It's going to be an 8-week league season, a classic format, classic to CEVO. How they used it in Counter-Strike back in the day. when that was the premier title in esports, at least in the Western Sea. And we're looking to have the same splash in Dota 2. We've got some great teams already signed up for Season 4. Denial Esports, eHug, Swag Ein Tiger, that really, really strong Brazilian team that actually did upset eHug recently. So that's going to be a fun rivalry to watch throughout Season 4. And I think that's all I've got. Basically, sign up for Season 4. It's going to be epic. Hopefully, it'll boost NA Dota. We can eventually get a professional league, maybe Season 5, Season 6, based on how much support we get from the community, and give a place for NA teams to hone their skills and take over the world. It's about damn time North America was good in the esports frontier. That being said, we're going to switch genres here. CSGO, I Buy Power, taking out Titan.